Good morning. We have some news, and it's actually good news for once, unlike the rest of the world. But today we're going to talk about why I think the Big Bend is now the best manual transmission Bronco you can get. So we actually got 3 pieces of good news to tell you about. We're doing pretty good for a Thursday. Number 1, 2024 scheduling starts today. Yes, today. It starts today. Number 2, if you were a two-door Heritage order that got their order canceled, if you had a 2023 that was scheduled and it was canceled 2 weeks ago, Ford is offering you a private office certificate towards a 2024 Bronco. So talk to your dealers. Make sure you do that before December 1st because that's the deadline. Talk to your dealers, get it done, get your order in for a 2024. And the third item in the purpose of this video, Big Bend is now offered, Big Bend with the manual transmission, obviously, is now offered with a rear locking axle. That changes the game. So back in August, I released a 2024 manual transmission buyer's guide for those of you who are looking to buy a 2024 Bronco. That video is still 90-95% accurate, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. And in that video, I said Big Bend lost the rear locking axle, so that's a bummer. It was a real bonus that they got the mid package, but then Ford just took it right away by removing the rear locking axle. Now, if you go on Build and Price today, it actually lets you select the rear locking axle, but it's a $0 option, which is suspicious. And if you look at the order guide, it's not available. So I am reasonably confident that it's a bug. Well, that has changed. As of November 1st, Ford released a new order guide for the Bronco, and they added the ability to order the rear locking axle on the Big Bend trim. Thumbs up. Apparently you could have always ordered a Big Bend manual with a rear locking axle since the 2024 order banks opened. I mean, let's be real, Ford makes mistakes. Their build and price is still not correct. The rear locking axle, at least when I checked yesterday, is still a $0 option. It's not a $0 option, by the way. It's $495, 500 bucks. But they make mistakes all the time. I've always personally considered the order guide the source of truth. But now the source of truth has been updated. You can order a rear locker. So what does this mean? Well, number 1, it means the black diamond trim is effectively dead. I don't see any reason for it. Yes, the black diamond does come with rock rails and bash plates. Both of those you can buy from Ford Accessories with your Ford Pass points, or you can just buy them on the Bronco forums. There's lots of people out there that are trying to sell their rock rails and factory bash plates as they upgrade to better aftermarket equivalents. But you can't get the advanced 4x4 transfer case on the black diamond anymore. It's no longer a standalone option like it was in previous years. And so really that means the only thing you do get is a steel bumper. So here's a Badlands with the steel rear bumper. Over here is a Wild Track with the standard plastic bumper. If you're going for a bang for your buck build, is it important to have a steel rear bumper on your Bronco? I mean, probably not. So to really show you what I'm talking about, let's do a few builds on Build and Price. Now again, we're not talking high-end $65,000, $70,000 builds. We are talking like, I want to be walking out of that dealership for under $50,000, you know, after the tax, titles, registration, all of that BS you normally got to pay at your dealership. I want to be under 50K. So previously in the past, my favorite configuration was black diamond. My favorite trim was black diamond. Let's do a two-door build this time. And let's talk about what black diamond has. So black diamond, you have the bash plates, you have the rock rails, you have the front and rear steel bumpers, you have the auxiliary switches, and the rear locking axle standard. The only thing I think somebody may want to add to this, now of course if you're buying a 4-door you may want to add a hardtop, but on 2-door I think the only thing somebody might want to add to this is the heavy-duty modular bumper. Now there already is a steel bumper on the back black diamond. You can add a winch to it. I actually did that in my past video if you want to watch that. But for most of the aftermarket accessories, you're going to want the HD modular bumper. So we'll go ahead and add that. And other than that, I mean, it's obviously going to depend on what you exactly want. But I think that's pretty much it, honestly. So let's just go to the bottom and see what we end up with. We are at $45,250. All right. $45,250. Now, let's jump over to Big Bend real quick. 2-door Big Bend. We're gonna build it as identical to black diamond as we possibly can. So we will need the rear locking differential. We will also need the bumper. And we will also need the auxiliary switches, which are somewhere down here. Where are we? There we are, auxiliary switches. All right, so what are we at? We're at $42,195. So $42,195. Now we have to add $495 for the rear locking axle because, again, build-in price, it still has a rear locking axle as a $0 option. It is not a $0 option. That's a bug in build-in price. It is $495. Then we also need the bumper, or the batch plates, excuse me, $830 option. If I can type, batch plates. And we also need the rock rails, $710. Now again, the batch plates and the rock rails are pretty easy to find used online. There are lots of people that bought, you know, a Wild Track or a Badlands that are upgrading to high-end aftermarket equivalents, and they're selling their batch plates and their rock rails online. So you could probably find these for a lot cheaper. In addition, look what we got back here. We have coupon codes on Ford Accessories. So you can definitely get these for a lot cheaper than the price you see here. And if you do buy from Ford Accessories, you get free shipping to your dealer. So if we add all this up, $42,195, $495, $830, $710, and we come out to $44,230. See, this black diamond is dead. Like, why would you buy a black diamond? I just don't get it. You can go through it again if you want with the 4-door. The difference will be roughly the same. It just doesn't make sense. And look, we are in the mid 40s. We are comfortably under that $50,000 mark. And look what else you get access to as Big Bend. If you have the Big Bend, you get access to the LED signature headlights if you want them. They're right there. You can add them. I mean, they're cool. I like them. So we'll go ahead and add that. And the other thing you get access to is the mid package. Where is the mid package? Right here. You can add the mid package if on the manual transmission on Big Bend. Now, if you go back and look at Black Diamond, the only headlight option you have is the base LED headlamps. You cannot get access to the signature lighting. In addition, if you go up and you try to add the mid package, it's going to kick you over to the automatic transmission because you cannot get the mid package with a manual transmission on Black Diamond. We scroll down to the bottom here. We can see it automatically added the automatic transmission. So, I mean, it is like Big Bend is just way better. So what does this all ultimately mean? Well, it now means that the Big Bend with the rear locking axle is the best configuration that you can buy for your money if you want a manual transmission. It's just hard to beat. If you want the Sasquatch package, like these two Broncos here, we got an Everglades and a Wild Track. If you want the Sasquatch package with the manual transmission, the best buy is still going to be the Heritage trim. If you can get through the Heritage trim look, which I know the Heritage trim looks are not for everyone, myself included, but if you can accept those looks, the Heritage is just far and away the best value if you want the Sasquatch package. If you are not into the Heritage trim and you need a front locker, or if you want access to any of the upper trim options, the obvious choice is Badlands. Non-Sasquatch, add your own tires. Again, go back to my last video if you want to know why. But yeah, it's still a really good trim. And actually, you know what? This is a really good color. Man, it is. I think, you know, I might have gotten the wrong color, guys, because this thing's awesome. And the loser of the bunch, well, that's gonna have to be Black Diamond. It just doesn't make sense as a trim. For the automatic people interested in automatic Broncos, it does have access to the 2.7 liter engine. So for them, it does make sense. But if you're searching for a manual, I just don't get it. If Ford made the advanced 4x4 transfer case standard, that would help out that trim a lot. So if anybody from Ford is watching, you know, hint hint, nudge nudge. But as it stands right now, like, it just, why? I don't get it. So that is going to be it for now. I would like to thank my dealer, Monica Ford, Glastonbury, Connecticut, for letting me film this video. Awesome that I'm gonna let me do that. If you need a Ford, their lot inventory is looking mighty healthy right now. We got a bunch of F-150 Raptors over here. Of course, we got the Broncos. We got a Maverick Tremor. Over here, we have a kitted out Bronco Sport, which looks pretty sweet. In general, there are tons and tons of Bronco Sports. So yeah, check them out. Website will be down below. Up next for me will be a comparison video between these two badges. I got one right here from Bronco Nation, another one from Architect Racing. That's the real reason why I'm here, is I was comparing these two badges on all of the various paint colors. That'll be coming, I don't know, sometime whenever I feel like it, I guess. Again, if you had a 2023 Heritage 2-door order that was canceled recently, make sure you talk to your dealer before December 1st if you want to order a 2024. I will also link down to a really good video from Ford Video Guy, who is a dealer out of Salina, Kansas. Has all the information you need. That's going to be it for now. Socials are right here. I'll talk to you all later. Bye. So check this out. I was getting ready to drive home just now, and look. My stabilizer bar is stuck. Nice. Oh yeah. That's totally what I wanted to deal with today. So freaking stupid. God. I mean, at least I'm at a dealer.